We're going to start right now. This is one of many of the webinars that we actually have through the Chess company, trying to actually bring in things like renewable energy, on-site energy systems, and trying to actually educate the community. This right here is really geared for the real estate market, individuals who want to go actually more part of the real estate market, whether they're an agent, whether you are a person who's purchasing or selling a home. We're going to be talking about how utilizing renewable energy is a great way for you to increase the value of that property. So a little bit here, sorry about that. Let me get this slide here going. So a little bit of we'll catch up here about who CHESS is. CHESS stands for an acronym for Consulting for Health, Energy, and Sustainable Solutions. We're a holistic approach organization. That means that not only do we look at on-site energy production, but we also look at energy monitoring, indoor air quality, outdoor air quality. It's really based on the principle of the triple bottom line, and that is people, profit, and planet. So we develop our systems that will benefit all three of those entities. So a lot of questions we actually have that we've received. What exactly is renewable energy? A lot of people just think of, one aspect, solar photovoltaic systems or PV systems, but really renewable energy comes from energy sources such as sunlight, wind, rain, tides, geothermal, the heat from the earth, and so and then these resources are actually renewable. They're always going on. This way, as long as we have the sun on the earth, we have energy available for whatever needs that we're going to use for our society. So that is really a really basic understanding of what renewable energy is. So that's a good segue on talking about renewable energy. So we need to really think about what is non-renewable energy. So non-renewable energy, if you look over on the right-hand side here, that is energy that is non-renewable. I mean, you basically, once it's on, it's on. So you look here, we have natural gas, petroleum, uranium, or nuclear, and coal. If you look over to the right here, you can see solar. And obviously, you look up under these solar, wind, biomass, hydro, geothermal. But you notice that instead of actually saying total, they are per year. So you see right here the energy is available in solar. It's an immense amount. We're nowhere near tap available for the uses that we use, which is right here. This right here is 16 terawatts per year of the whole world use. So if you notice here, we have an enormous amount of energy we have available, far more than all of the non-renewable energy sources combined. So we really need to actually tap into that as a society, get away from being, try to conserve these non-renewable energy sources and actually rely mostly on a clean energy, renewable energy source like solar, wind, biomass, hydro, and geothermal. So there are many types of renewable energy sources that can be on site. Most people, they look at solar PV. So what it's saying, that means you're taking sun energy and actually convert it over to direct current, which is DC power, and then from the DC power, we have an inverter, and so it converts over to what we normally use in our house. That's AC, alternative current. But there's other sources of renewable energy that we can get tapped into, or vehicles that can actually tap into the renewable energy sources, such as utilizing these solar thermal properties to actually do air conditioning. That's a very untapped field now. You can utilize energy to actually generate heat for solar thermal properties, heating your water, heating your home and property, your building source. Then, of course, there is wind energy that can be utilized to actually convert wind to electricity. And of course, there's geothermal and hydrogen, which is something that is a really good source that's coming on board for driving or transportation, and also for energy. We utilize hydrogen. And of course, there's geothermal, or utilizing the warmth of the earth to provide energy sources. So renewable energy in the United States has been around since the 1950s or so, but it's really full of steam. I mean, really, when we talk about on-site in the home, residential properties, that's started mostly in some movements in Denver, but that's in most of the 70s. But when we look at the recent history from 2000, we had a minimum renewable energy source, but it was right here all the way from the past 14 years until 2014, it has basically skyrocketed. And we've got 50 million rooftops in the United States, and we're not even close to tapping into the available installations that we have inside of the United States. Of course, the world market has dramatically surpassed the United States. Places like Germany, even China. China has decided, at one time they were saying they wanted to go ahead and build a coal factory every week. They have dramatically decreased that number because of the air quality inside of China. And they realized that going renewables is a great way, or is a good way to go for sustainability of their society. So places like China, Germany, and other European nations. Of course, Brazil has really dramatically utilized renewable energy inside of their environment. They become energy independent. So the United States really has a long way to go, but they have been increasing this installations dramatically in the past 5 years. So what are the myths dealing with on-site renewable energy? Well, really the first myth really would be that solar energy and utilizing solar panels is too expensive. Well, basically, this has really dramatically been an issue that has, declined in recent years. Right now, the cost of solar is extremely affordable. I mean, we're getting to the point right now that the per watt is less than $1 for implementing, and you can actually work on the return on the investment. Most of if you actually implement a hybrid-based system, you can get a return on the investment a lot quicker, and we'll talk about that further in the presentation. What other myths are there? Installing a solar system is so complicated. Well, basically, the good thing about this one is it really doesn't have to be. I mean, if you have an organization, not putting any kind of bells and whistles on chess, an organization like chess, there's a lot of great organizations out there really putting out, putting it in there. You can actually get a solar system. We're working with the city of Montgomery right now. That's Montgomery, Alabama, and this property here is going to be probably the first installation in Montgomery, Alabama for residential. And so we're working directly with the chief electrical inspector for that city, and they're excited. They're really excited about it. So we're excited to go help them out. And we're actually going to be doing starting installations in Columbus, Georgia, which again, for residential, it's going to be something that's new for that environment also. So, working with the local permit building inspecting entities, understanding that we're going to take the industry standard approach, make sure the financing is put in place to make the process not that complicated at all. Solar won't work in cold or cloudy states. Well, guess what? This one right here is basically a myth. And I think we talked about Germany in the beginning of the webinar. Germany is a really good case because Germany basically led the world. They actually had a world record for placing their whole country on renewable energy. And that was a huge thing. I mean, just imagine every business, every home in the United States went renewable. This is what Germany did. And if you look at the actual climate in Germany, it basically, it's similar to the upper part of Ohio in Cleveland. So if you look, you go down, you have all the other states, going down towards Florida, Texas, and everything else. That means that they have more sun, more clouds than any other state there. So in actuality, having a state that's, cloudy or cold, but in actuality, if the climate is cold and it's sunny, it's actually more beneficial for the solar system to work, because one of the biggest issues of dealing with solar PV systems is that it generates heat. Heat is going to actually cause more issues and problems with the solar system, so the cold actually helps out the efficiency of that solar system. So that's a good thing right there. Solar panels are ugly and bulky. Well, back in the 70s, that might have been the case because the solar system wasn't efficient. It really, they were large to go and get the same energy capacity. But nowadays, solar systems is extremely efficient. You've got even solar panels that can be adhesed directly on the actual roofs, and they're really out of the way. So that has dramatically changed nowadays too. When people see solar systems, they know that system is something that is going to have a positive benefit for that home. So we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the presentation. Homeowners won't live in a house long enough to get their investment back. There is a report that we're going to list inside of the presentation, later on. But the study has come out that the value or the return on investment for a solar system or on-site renewable energy system can dramatically increase. You get your return on investment depending upon how you set up the actual purchase of the system, whether it be a home improvement loan, whether it be a green mortgage loan, whether it be a lease system, or if you have the financing, you can actually get purchase the system right out. You can get a return on your investment very quickly, and especially if you actually implement a hybrid-based system, a system that might combine solar PV and solar thermal. So we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the presentation. Solar will hurt my chances for a home solar resale. Well, basically, this is about that study that has really put this myth to bed. And that study has shown that when homes actually have a renewable energy system on them, the appraisal value of that home dramatically increases. And that's because nowadays that people understand the benefits of actually having a system or a home that is not going to start costing you money, because once you buy the house, you have a mortgage there, but you really have the operating expenses also. So people are starting to realize that you actually have a system that can really generate money by saving you money. And we'll talk a little bit about that further on in the presentation. But the myth of X having it's not going to have a resale value is really false. So, how does an on-site renewables energy system increase the home value? We kind of touched on it, but let's go ahead and go into some depth on this. First, look at who is going to buy the home. So, if you look over here on the left-hand side, the market for the individuals 55 and over is going to decrease. I mean, a lot of individuals 55 and over, they're not only buying homes, they're probably selling homes, but they're going into condos. They're actually decreasing their, their expenses so they can actually, really, truly, take advantage of their resources that they've built up, their investments, their retirements, and everything else. So they're really trying to decrease their home. Well, you have the group that's 35 to 55. They are the ones buying the homes, and of course, the millennials, 18 to 34s, they're actually purchasing the homes. So this is really your big market. So if we look here, that goes from your Generation X, Generation Y, and Generation Z, those millennials. You understand here, which you notice that they're all technology savvy. So if we look at this right here, that group is computer savvy. They are budget conscious. They're in tune with looking at their budget, saving their money, utilizing tools online, such as QuickBooks and everything else, or Quicken to actually manage your information electronically. They're looking at things like Credit Karma to actually keep track of their credit scores. They understand this component. They're also conscious of the environment. They're more green oriented. They understand that things like studying on 68% or are even higher than that. It actually understands climate change is real and it's made by humans. It's actually caused by humans. So they're going to actually try to lessen the imprint or the footprint that they're involved with the environment. So they're going to be more aware of their environment and how they're affecting their environment. So they understand and aware of green technology, and they understand that if a neighborhood actually includes or has involved with renewable energy homes, on-site energy homes, they know that the whole value of the neighborhood is going to increase because they have individuals inside of the homes are going to have a more responsible look for the homes, and of course more responsible look for their neighborhood, which ultimately will be more responsible, more responsibility with outlook for the actual community at home. So why? Why exactly? How the system? How does it affect the system as far as the budget, and how the on-site system and energy efficiency can actually affect that budget for that homeowner? Well, look here. 31% of a household budget goes to space heating. 12% goes over to heating water, and 10% goes over to cooling the home. So if you look here, that's over half of the home budget is just in these three aspects. And of course, you look at lighting, refrigeration, electronics, and everything else. If you can decrease these components right here, and make your home more efficient, but also generating energy by doing things like solar thermal for space heating, solar thermal for water heating, and things like spacing, or space cooling, or using solar thermal for space cooling. I mean, and if you implement a solar PV system for the other aspects like lighting, electronics, your big flat screen TVs and everything else, that's going to dramatically decrease the cost of that home and that homeowner. So now you've got a cost for the actual mortgage of the home. And then you actually say, well, you know what? I've got operating expenses. And again, we talk about the people purchasing the homes. They kind of understand this whole aspect of operating expenses. They understand that I have a mortgage here, but I still have to go and actually pay taxes, and then I still have to actually pay to operate my home. This is why the aspect of on-site renewable energy is going to increase the actual home value as long as there's a return on investment. And we'll really talk about that further on for a deal or a financing situation that can be implemented for a on-site renewable energy solution. And here we go. And so this right here is for a hybrid energy renewable system. This one's using lease, but actually look at it like a straight purchase. There's also an equivalent loan, so we do. We have a vehicle for that, so that we can go ahead and actually put this for a home equipment loan. But if you notice here, we're going to look at this solution here. So you've got your solar thermal. And solar thermal is used to actually heat water. At the same time, it's utilizing to heat the home. So that's one aspect. We talked about that budget, decrease in that aspect of heating water and heating your home. And then we have our solar PV system for utilizing the sun to generate electricity. That is then looked at for all the appliances, the flat screen TVs, and everything else. But another thing too that it can do is all of the extra energy on net metering, where your meter turns backwards and actually supplies energy to your utility company. The utility company has to buy the energy back. So that's another aspect of you receiving a check, which can help to reduce the actual cost of the system and get you a better return on your investment. So if we say right here that we're going to look at utilities, $400 a month for your heating and cooling of your home, your heating, your water, and everything else, and we multiply that by 12, that comes out to roughly about $4,800. Okay, and then from there, this is actually from the lease system. We say that the lease system is going to help decrease all of this right here, and then that lease cost is going to be $2,080, which you could subtract the subtract the $2,080 from $4,100, you're going to end up with $2,720 of savings. So if you look at this right here, you from day one, you're receiving a return on your investment. And then if you look through projections of a 20-year period, which you're going to see more of a graph the next slide, but if you see right here, the total cost of utility costs over 20 years, which people really don't understand this. Again, once they see it, they're like, wow, that's what I spent on my utilities. It's $190,000. Your equipment costs, your savings, and everything else ends up for 20 years paying $55,000, which you end up with a savings of $135,000. Again, when people totally understand this, they can see that this is where you get your return on investment. All right, so this is the slide that's extremely important. We're going to give a little time just to look at this, but I want everybody to notice this right here. Okay, sorry about that. A little bit of technology here. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. All right, we'll get back to that slide there 1 second. Okay, that was another slide. Apologize for that. We'll go ahead and jump. Here, let's get back to that slide. Okay. No. Okay, here we are. So, if we look here, I want everybody to notice this link right here. It is http:// E as echo, M as in Mary, P as in Papa, dot LBL, Lima, Bravo, Lima, dot gov. This right here was a report that came out in 2015. Now, let me explain why this report is extremely important. Before this report came out, how you evaluated the actual increase in value after implementing an on-site renewable system, really we're talking about a solar PV system here, was equating it over to the same as a home improvement. So, if you had a new kitchen and you put some money into the new kitchen, that would actually, per the normal way of doing home improvement, that would increase the value of the home because it would actually increase, it would actually be home improvement. More people are going to be more attuned to buying your home because they see a brand new kitchen. Same thing goes with adding in a porch or something. So this was the normal aspect of saying, well, you know what, if I put in a solar PV system, I'm going to increase the value of my home. So, if you look here, the house on the left here that has a new solar PV system. Well, this right here really actually puts meat to the bone. This was a multi-year study, multi-state, that actually took solar homes and actually developed the equation of things like how to increase the value in the neighborhood, how to increase the home sales. They actually took home sales data sets and basically put all this data together, so it gives a real estate individual ammo, or a home buyer or home seller ammo, that really shows the detailed formulas on if you implement a solar PV system over a house that we have on the right-hand side that does not have them in the same neighborhood, with the same value. If you put them all together, homes with the actual solar panels will actually have a higher value. This right here changed the game. This just came out in 2015. So again, I want everybody to actually take time to actually download this report, grab it, because it's extremely important for the industry. So, saying that, what we've decided at CHESS is to actually implement what's called a referral program. And this is for individuals mostly in the real estate industry or inside the land property management. Of course, you have opportunity with other individuals. We try to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to take advantage of this. But what we're doing here is we're saying that without any kind of limits to how many referrals you can put in here, if you go through the process of signing up at www.chess-llc.com/referral, sign up, it's going to talk to you. You'll get approved from an account after we review your information. Once you do that, you can then go ahead and actually log in and submit referrals. to us. And if those referrals pan out to be a solar energy install, we will give you, after they've been installed and the installation has been complete, up to $1,000 for referral fees. So again, the process is right here. We're not having, we're not having any kind of limitations on it, but we will give you $1,000, up to $1,000 for that referral. And that's based on any kind of system, whether it be a solar PV system, solar thermal system, whatever. Okay, let me see here. We're jumping in and out of here. I apologize for this, but let's get that link coming up here. A few more seconds. There you are. Okay. Jump back here. Apologize for this. But that's really a huge thing. I mean, we've got individuals in this industry who really come to this out. We just started this program. Right now, we're not sure how long we're going to actually have the program in place, so we're going to have many people as they can take advantage of the program. Okay, let's jump back over that slide again. We'll actually come up and say resume the link. We're really right on time also, so that's good. We're on time. We're making sure that we've got all the members here, so we'll go ahead and we'll start it up. Resume. So we don't have a shut-off time, shut date for this. We don't know how long to have it there, but we give everybody the opportunity and chance to increase their emissions for their real estate and the real estate industry, and also take advantage of implementing solar system inside of their neighborhood and their community. That's a really great deal. Well, you know what? We really keep these webinar series really short, and hopefully everybody had a great time. Apologize for some of the technical difficulties, but I hope the information was helpful. If there are any questions or if there's any other topics that we want to put into these series, please go ahead and email us at support@chess-llc.com. And again, that's support@chess-llc.com. And we will be more than happy to go and actually ask questions or look at topics available for the community and however we can help out to actually implement a solution. Again, if you want to refer somebody for that, please let us know. Until then, we've got a lot more series that we're going to implement. If you want to know more, please go and actually look at our YouTube channel. We've got a couple other series out there on the faith-based community. We're going to be looking at some more faith-based community projects. But until then, I'm really happy that you took the time out to actually be a part of this webinar, and hope to get to see you guys soon. Thank you.